transferring the wires over from our old commutator to our new Anderson commutator. So
Fancy, shiny.
yeah, these have like little neat looking screws on the top, so I'm going to keep those. Just do it just like that. We're just doing one at a time. So they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, firing order. The same one here, but they're hard to see. So if you have an old one you can't see, you can do it like this. Just take one at a time. Be sure you're putting it in its proper place. Yep, that's what we're doing.
Got Matt here.
That's
Right
right.
behind the camera. And we're putting the motor back together. More and more of it. And what's our, been working on the timer.
Yep. There's our new Anderson timer. Got all wired up and ready to go. The inside looks like that. Oh yeah.
So clean, so fresh and so clean.
Yep.
So what do we got to do next?
So we got that wired up, and we're going to put our brush on. This goes on this shaft here, and there's a pin that goes in here. We'll put that on in a second. This slides on, but there's a grease seal, like a fitting, that pops right into here. And on the last couple that we've rebuilt, this is not bent here. So this is your cam, and it doesn't make a perfect seal in here. You have a bearing that sits back behind that, so there is a possibility for oil to leak out. I just have not seen that happen. So, but we're going to put this in, just like that.
mallet.
Yeah, probably. That's so easy to go in. Ow. All right, so it pops in very easily.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Everyone should try that at least once.
Yep. All right. It goes back to the beginning.
There was no cut in there.
No, that was 100% smooth lube from our handy caddy. If you guys don't have one of these, you definitely need to buy one. It's a little lopsided, but you know
It's
what?
fine.
Who's judging? And then this little cover goes right over top of it, keeps that bearing from popping out and
Yep.
causing all kinds of problems.
Cover.
Of course, it'll stay there perfectly fine, because that's what we want to do with it.
Yep. Okay.
You good?
Yep.
Then we got our brush on, groove, hole,
Nice and easy. Look at that.
just like that. A little pin, looks like this. She slides right in there. We have our cap,
Yep.
goes over it.
Little groove.
Yep, it's got a little indentation on the top. You can see that.
Can only really go on one way.
Yeah. And that goes on just fine like that. And our nut goes on after that. Tightens that down. There we go. You can see that little indentation is made so it can hold that pin in, and it doesn't.
Yep. And Matt took some care to lube it up a little bit with some PB Blaster.
Yep. And we're going to tighten it down one man's arm. Remember, you're going against the crank, so it's possible you could turn the motor, but you don't. If you're turning the motor, it's too tight. So, there we go.
Okay. So next we'll put on the actual
Yep, here comes
commutator.
the commutator right on the top. Ooh. Just like that. That goes on just like that. And there we go. So there's your timer rod arm. Make sure that wire's not in the way or pinched. And as you adjust the timer up and down, it's going to spin.
Yep, because the rod will have a little cotter pin here.
Yep, you don't want it falling out. So be sure that's above it. That's where I leave it. But I don't know if you want to try it below it. It's up to you. See what happens. Just don't shock yourself.
That's that. Yep. Ford very conveniently put a little holder there.
Yep, that I almost forgot to put on with the wrong bolt, but we won't talk about that. There we go. Now we're good. Well, be sure you leave yourself enough room back here. That's why that wire's got that. Because when your timer rod arm goes in, get a cotter pin in the back of it. So make sure that that's not pinched underneath it. And should move pretty free, just like that.
Yep, and we can adjust it as needed. Make sure we're top dead center with our tool later.
Yep.
We'll be good to go.
She looks great.
Morning, Matt.
Morning, Wayne.
What do we got going on?
All right. Well, we are going to reassemble our transmission and replace the bolt that could have caused damage, did not. So
Yep.
got all the parts ready to go.
Yep, should be nice and easy. Oh, and while we're here, in our last electrical video, we told you that the weight should be able to hold
2 pounds.
about 2 pounds, which is about the weight
About
of
the
a
piston
Model
head
T
from the Model
piston
T
head.
Ford piston head. So
Convenient.
we stick it on.
Look at that.
Ta-da!
So the recharge did work.
Yep. That one's a little weak, but it's there.
It's there.
Could probably get a little more into it, but she's good.
It's significantly stronger than before, where it could barely hold a socket or a washer.
Yeah, so the recharge has worked. We had Chuck point out that we did not include that at the end of our last video, so
There you go, Chuck. And Harley is super excited
oh
to
yeah,
be joining us today.
she's ready.
So we've just discovered Matt has a little bracelet that his wife shares. Aww.
Aww,
And they connect together.
they're magnetic. So let's the north and south.
North and
poles.
south, we could have used that. Look at
Look
that.
at
That's
that.
cute. You could say Matt has a magnetic personality.
All right. So on this episode of Today I Learned, the way we were doing it is not the proper way. So we may or may not show you those videos maybe later. Probably not. But anyway, so it's a mess. So we have the wizard, Mr. Chuck, here with us, and we are going to, under his suggestion, we've got, I don't know if you want to come a little closer. There's timing marks on these planetary, on these little gears right here, if you can see them. See them? And there's 9 teeth between each gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So as long as you've got 9 teeth between the timing marks, we haven't found any timing marks on these, so we're assuming we don't need them since it's just stationary like a sun gear, but we'll see. But
our production value is not as high as people think it is.
I know it's just a mess. We just do whatever and see what happens. But Chuck suggested, because I'm sure he's done it a million times, just put mechanics wire around it, keeps them in place a little bit better,
Yep.
but
A
not
little
too
bit of
tight.
Space in there to kind of help.
Yeah, and see how they wiggle? That's so you can align them on those shafts perfectly, because it's those shafts that are in the main housing right there is what holds it in. So we're not going to do it real tight, but we're going to keep them on where they don't fall off. Hopefully, we'll still have to hold them on, but at least it'll keep in place. So that's what we're trying. So this little guy that we were putting in by hand as well, we found does go in a little bit further. Let me put it in the right way. Hold on. There's little tabs on this side.
Yep.
Need to push it in a good way, but we found that just giving her a little love tap. Oh, better love tap than that. Why is she not going in? I don't like that. Do these matter?
It has to be the middle one.
Yeah, it's the center one. There you go.
Feels a little better. We got a lot deeper in there than that. But there she goes. She sounds totally in, but oh, there she goes. Yep. All right, she is in, sir. Try not to smash my fingers.
Tango.
No, we need to do that. Ping, ping.
Just explain what has happened.
Oh yeah, okay.
Chuck.
When you flip the flywheel over, I noticed they forgot to ping the brass screws that hold on the magnet.
Yeah, Wayne.
So,
So here we are. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do that. And the reason you do that is it expands the top and keeps it from backing out, because if you don't do that and you're driving down the road and these back out, well, then your ring gear comes off. And I can imagine that'd make quite the racket and huge repair. So let's go ahead and give these just a little expansion. There we go.
what I would do,
Yeah.
have to take this, go like that.
All right.
That way it messes up the threads and it won't come out.
Again, like Chuck said, the reason why we do that, we're just messing up the threads so they don't back out. It expands them a little bit, digs into the threads. I think the ones we took out, they had 2 points on the top, which is where I was going to go. It looked like they hit them this way, but that seems to be just as effective. So
Those were a little longer too, wasn't it?
yeah, they stuck out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
It was a different style of bolt, so
yeah,
I should have looked those up.
yep, that's right. Yeah. On Today I Learned. All right, we'll move on. All right. It's actually 3 days later. I'm just kidding. We're gonna try this. Let's see. Oh, get out. Ow! Oh, it's down! Piece of cake!
Replay, please.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just as easy as we thought it was going to be. That was pretty amazing.
And all you had to do is cut your mechanics
Yep.
wire and you're done.
Yep, we'll cut that mechanic wire out of there.
Just make sure to say that out loud. He knows us.
Yeah. What is that scraping noise coming from the transmission? Did you take that mechanics wire out of there?
No. I thought it stayed.
So I thought that was going to be much more of a catastrophe.
It would have been if you hadn't had mechanics wire because you're trying to hold
Hold them all
place.
in. Yeah, that definitely was a huge help. So yes, when we were taking this out and pulling the clutch plates and everything out, one of our little gears fell out, and we thought, no big deal, just pop it back in. It's easy, right? It's 100-year-old car.
It was in fact a big deal.
Yeah, it was not that easy, but we figured it out. Thanks to Chuck, and now we're rolling. Comes next. Next come our piece with that other piece, and then that thing. Right, that goes in there, and then I do believe. So we need our little drum, we need our disc drum, and our clutch brake. So this is the one that goes in here that we need the keyway for. Let's clean this and lube it. All right. All right. Got that good and lubed. Let's get our little key stock and grab some channel locks. Just give them a little squeeze on up. There we go. Now she's good. We want to, now it should align with that. We're just going to align our screw, which was the problem we had in the beginning. Just like that. All right, here's our bolt that failed on us. It's going to go right in here, and I believe from looking in there, it's tapered. Give you a little coursing. I believe it's tapered, so it might not go very deep. But we're gonna do the best we can. That's
So
about,
what is that holding in, Matt?
this is holding in your, what's it called? The drum plate? Do we know? This piece right here? This thing? It's flux capacitor.
Disc drum.
Disc drum. It's fancy terms. Get me so confused.
Yeah, Matt is in fact a professional mechanic, so.
I have enough work at work. All right, now we're going to put a little mechanics wire through the hole. We did run into a little wonder. So again, on Today I Learned, seems to be having to change the name of the YouTube channel, is as Chuck suggested, is that we put the mechanics wire through here, because I mean if we put a cotter pin, it's just not going to do any good. It's got to keep it from turning. That's what we needed to do. So put the mechanics wire through here. Do the other way. See if I can get it to turn a little more. I got it pretty tight. Oh yeah, I don't want to go any tighter than that. Go in through one of these ways. It's just so simple. So there we go. Pull that through. I'm going to wrap it around here. So that's all we need it to do. It's just not rotate. Oh yeah, she's good. There she goes. And then we clean up our ends so we don't have anything hanging over in the motor. Boom. Just like that. Now goes this guy. All right, so we're putting this piece on. There's little indentations these three go into. Just sit directly over these so you can just kind of line it up, feel it, make sure they get in there. Yep. Oh, they're in there. She goes. Get that.
Next we got this guy.
Yep. On down. Woo. That tightened up pretty good, Chuck.
So what has happened here, Matt?
So the springs, are we still on?
Yep.
The spring has got these little keepers. Chuck's looking it up to make sure we're right. This one was loose. There's a cotter pin that goes through here, and that's just a flathead that you can tighten down. This one's lower than the other ones. Don't know if it's been adjusted or what, but it's on there now. Chuck is refreshing his brain. Sorry, stabbing the stomach with mechanics wire. Just eviscerated Wayne.
Check out the book.
Yep, refreshing his memory. Just make sure we got it right before we finish buttoning it up. Yeah, so this cup is one solid piece with that lip on the bottom. And there's a hole that goes through here that you have to line up with this shaft to get that pin in. Once that pin's in, you have to press it down and turn it to get it into its groove. And it'll make sense when you look at it,
Yeah.
because that didn't sound like it made
Pin
any
only
sense.
goes one way.
Yeah, the pin only goes one way. It's tapered, so all things we found out for you. You're welcome. Yep. But anyway, so what we found worked best was to stick a screwdriver in here with another screwdriver and just slide it around. It's trying to compress it and turn it. It's going to turn the shaft. It's going to turn the drums. We were turning the spring. It wasn't working. So 2 screwdrivers, one in this way, one down here. And we just pried. Bloop. Pushed it right around. Easy peasy.
Here's how you do those fingers.
All right.
Put in the 6 bolts, tighten safety wire in place.
Okay.
In pairs. Tighten the clutch fingers adjusting screws so that each has equal tension, usually the same number of turns. Okay. Tighten these screws sequentially until the spring height is exactly 2 inches.
Oh. Spring height from the seat. All right. What Chuck has found is that these keepers, these hooks, are adjustable. You take the cotter pin out and you can screw it down to raise it or up. And the spring height itself needs to be 2 inches all the way around. That's what the great book tells us. So
And you
we
can
have
check it real
measured
quick
that.
with your measuring tool, and it's
Yep.
not quite precise, but
Get us. Yep. So we're there.
yep, 2 inches. We measure them, each side is consistent, and we're good.
So now onto our